70. Your drip is just a water spring. You know I drip different, just the 7 C's. I deal with life different, make that lemon squeeze. Went off for my style and identity. Better bounce back and get the cheddar cheese. I guess that's why they envy me. On track, now we gon' way up. W's as easy as a layup. Working late, stay up. Counting all the way up. Counting blessings, yeah, you know we pray up. Way up, pray up. On track, now we gon' way up. Now we gon' way up. Now we going. On track, now we gon' way up. Now we gon' way up. Now we going. I got his band like I'm Barry Bonds. Running through the money, but the money's long. I don't love it, but I need it, keep it coming on. Only friendly, me and friends, we don't get along. I put that on my name, that I put them on. I put myself on stage and say sing along. I might book a session, do 100 songs. I'ma let you hear them just to prove you wrong. On track, now we gon' way up. W's as easy as a layup. Working late, stay up. Counting all the way up. Counting blessings, yeah, you know we pray up. Pray up. On track, now we gon' way up. Now we gon' way up. Now we going. On track, now we gon' way up. Now we gon' way up. Now we going. On track, now we gon' way up. W's as easy as a layup. Working late, stay up. Counting all the way up. Counting blessings, yeah, you know we pray up. Pray up. On track, now we gon' way up. Now we gon' way up. Now we going. On track, now we gon' way up. Now we gon' way up. Now we going. Keep the same energy. Work on being better when I'm 70. Your drip is just a water spring. You know I drip different, just the 7 C's. I deal with life different, make that lemon squeeze. Went off for my style and identity. Better bounce back and get the cheddar cheese. I guess that's why they envy me. On track, now we gon' way up. W's as easy as a layup. Working late, stay up. Counting all the way up. Counting blessings, yeah, you know we pray up. Pray up. On track, now we gon' way up. Now we gon' way up. Now we going. On track, now we gon' way up. Now we gon' way up. Now we going. I got his band like I'm Barry Bonds. Running through the money, but the money's long. I don't love it, but I need it, keep it coming on. Only friendly, me and friends, we don't get along. I put that on my name, that I put them on. I put myself on stage and say sing along. I might book a session, do 100 songs. I'ma let you hear them just to prove you wrong. On track, now we gon' way up. W's as easy as a layup. Working late, stay up. Counting all the way up. Counting blessings, yeah, you know we pray up. Pray up. On track, now we gon' way up. Now we gon' way up. Now we going. On track, now we gon' way up. Now we gon' way up. Now we going. On track, now we gon' way up. W's as easy as a layup. Working late, stay up. Counting all the way up. Counting blessings, yeah, you know we pray up. Pray up. On track, now we gon' way up. Now we gon' way up. Now we going. On track, now we gon' way up. Now we gon' way up. Now we going. Keep the same energy. Work on being better when I'm 70. Your drip is just a water spring. You know I drip different, just the 7 C's. I deal with life different, make that lemon squeeze. Went off for my style and identity. Better bounce back and get the cheddar cheese. I guess that's why they envy me. On track, now we gon' way up. W's as easy as a layup. Working late, stay up. Counting all the way
that was a little longer than expected, right? But it's something new, man. It's just trying out something new. Get a little crunk for a little while. Get it. I'm happy. Of course, Tony, Nick, Adam, we're all here. Little late. I did a little something different tonight. Number one, I'm superly excited. I'm over elated. You guys know how excited I am right now. I had a doctor's appointment tonight. It literally got canceled. I get there and they're like, "Oh, the system crashed. We're gonna have to reschedule." I'm like, "You got to be kidding me!" So I had to come all the way home. All right, I figured let me do an intro. I looked at zeros. This is what we're gonna do tonight. I'm gonna pivot to both of these experts right here, and I'm just gonna play host and have some fun. So first thing, Ben Simmons, bye Felicia. Finally, you're gone. You're out. Told you it was happening. James Harden's a Sixer. I couldn't be more excited, but there's still some games to win. So Adam, were you really surprised that this happened?
No, not at all. I mean, I would have been more surprised if it didn't at that point. James Harden definitely painted them into a corner. I'm not convinced that. I mean, I don't know how to say this exactly because I know Brooklyn didn't have a lot of options. I still don't love it, but I'm not a Simmons guy and I never have been. You can't tell me a guy that has that unwillingness to shoot the ball is that much of an upgrade over anybody. The first round picks don't really matter because they weren't able to move them for anything else. So this year's first round pick, tail end of the draft, great. I guess, it's a pick that the Nets didn't have. I still think it's a bit of a failure to not get at least Thibault in that deal if you couldn't get Maxey. You gave up Harden, clearly the best player in the deal, and the best player you got back is right now Steph Curry. Yeah, when Ben Simmons is active and playing to his potential, he's a lot better than Curry, but when's the last time we've seen that?
I listen, as a Philly guy, I'm
Philly
shocked.
did well in this trade, I think. I really think.
I mean,
holding on to Thibault and Maxey, they did really well.
And that's the thing. I mean, only time's going to tell, right? It's all going to come down to who wins, right? Who wins a championship first, if either of them do, right? It's what's going to be all about. And I think the biggest thing, Ghost, was that everybody was worried about what we were going to give up. You kept your two young studs, but you also had James Harden already opt in to the next year. So this isn't a 1-year rental. This is a 2-year window for Joel and Harden to try to get this done. Were you shocked at this deal?
And for me, it was the pieces that was involved and pieces that were not involved. Like we were talking about this with the boys in our group chat today too, and like we were kind of having like a bit of a back and forth about like Brooklyn, quote unquote, getting a haul, right? But for me, it's like this is the way that I feel about all first round picks and all these quote unquote future assets that GMs love to stockpile. They don't mean anything.
Yeah, they're literally nothing.
And the thing is that pick, like it doesn't matter where it lands, right? For me, it's not important about the spot. What matters is that you have Kevin Durant on your team right now, and the number one asset that you got outside of Ben Simmons are first round picks in the 20s. Right. To me, it's just. And it's like that, and it's not about trading those picks for Harden. It's not about trading those picks because you have Kevin Durant. Put all that aside, for me, I'm not a draft pick guy. This is not the NHL. This is not the NFL. You don't have a 50-plus man roster. You don't have 4 lines to roll out in an NHL game with a ridiculous salary cap to be able to maneuver around. NHL salary cap is the hardest out of all the pro leagues. It's completely different when it comes to other pro sports. NBA is a star-driven league, and you just acquired the most prolific offensive player of the last decade plus. There's nothing attached to those picks. You don't even know who they're gonna be.
Right.
And you pretty much traded Ben Simmons and Seth Curry for James Harden. This is Daryl Morey proving once again one of, if not the best GM in the league. One of the best front office execs in the league. It's just complete fleece by Daryl Morey right now, man.
That's what I said, man. Everyone thinks that Philly got fleeced, and I'm like, what? What are you talking about?
They
didn't
get it.
No, they didn't.
See, here's the thing, right? And everyone's gonna have their own opinion, and I respect every single one of them, right? Everybody comes to their own conclusion for a reason, and they have their own opinions, and they're all valid. My point of view on this is this. If you haven't watched a 76ers ball game, you don't know how good Matisse Thybulle is on the defensive side of the ball. He's like, if I told you that Matisse Thybulle is second all NBA defense, you would laugh in my face, but he is.
And that matters to a team like Brooklyn that has, nothing.
Right. And it's like
Durant can defend when he wants to, but that's about it.
But when he didn't even want to line up on Giannis. Who is he going to line up on in the playoffs now?
Right.
Like he literally said, I'm not guarding Giannis. It's not happening.
I mean, in fairness, he had to score 60 points a game to even win a game.
But that's the thing. Like, I've been saying for the last 2 years, this team, and now it's finally come to fruition. It's going to come down to KD, please save us, and he's going to leave.
Yep.
And it doesn't work. It did not work from the start. I said this 2 years ago. I'm actually going to hop on JJ's show to talk about it. I don't know when, but we're going to talk about it because I said this 2 years ago. It won't work. The three of them together will not work. It's three guys that need the ball in their hands. I'm not saying James Harden can't play off ball. But James Harden needs the ball in his hands to be James Harden. He's a great three-point shooter. He can find open space, and he can do all that stuff. You can't have James Harden on your team and not give him the ball. You can't have Kyrie Irving with the best handles in the league and not give him the ball. And then what are you going to do? Not going to give the ball to Kevin Durant? It's like, I don't know.
The real bummer here is, just as a basketball fan, you got to see 16 games of them. Like, that really sucks. That, I tend to agree that it probably wouldn't have worked. But we really don't know that for sure because we literally never got to see it for any extended period.
That to me is also something that when building a team, I understand you can't predict injuries. Say it on the show in terms of DFS. You can't predict injuries, can't predict anything, what was going to happen in the world in the last 2 years leading to Kyrie's unavailability this season, etc. Like nobody knew we were going to have a pandemic 2 years ago and when this team was first put together and this and that. So I understand from that point of view, but then at the same time, it's like you built your team around the fact that if one of these guys goes down, you're cooked. You are cooked. And that for me is an issue. And you're seeing more and more of these teams like the Phoenix Suns, where it's no disrespect to DeAndre Ayton. That's a big two in Phoenix. It's the backcourt of Chris Paul and Devin Booker. And DeAndre Ayton is just a really, really good third piece. And it's the same thing in Golden State. It's no disrespect to Draymond. What Draymond Green brings to the basketball court is absolutely unquantifiable. I understand that if he's not on your team, you likely don't like Draymond Green. Put it aside, you need to watch Draymond Green play in a 7-game playoff series. The man's elite. And he's a proven winner. But him too, he's a really, really good third piece. That team is Steph and Clay.
Right.
Like it, and it's like that over and over and over again. And now with Brooklyn, who is that third piece if one of these guys goes down? Patty Mills?
Cam Thomas?
Cam Thomas? LaMarcus Aldridge? LaMarcus Aldridge takes the court and he needs a week to rest. Like,
yo, you're right about that.
Like, it's just that to me is like, and then you go and we're going to sign Paul Millsap. Paul Millsap's 15 years past his prime, bro beans.
Yeah.
What do you like?
Well, when you sink that much money into those three, you don't have many other routes to improve that team at all. Look at the Lakers. They go and they get Westbrook. They have no money, and they have no avenue to get any better.
Right, and I'm not saying that it's impossible to do, but the thing is that when you want to sign guys for the vet minimum, they're going to chase a championship, and until LeBron James leaves the league, they're going to go sign with LeBron James, or they're going to go sign in Golden State. It doesn't matter how good this team is that you put together in Brooklyn. If someone is signing, for example, Malik Monk, who is still very young and still he could have gotten the bag last offseason, and he will for sure get the bag this offseason. He signed for the vet minimum because he wanted to reestablish himself in the league and possibly chase a championship with LeBron. Could he have joined Brooklyn? Absolutely. Like, that would have been a much better, like, he signed for the same amount of money as Paul Millsap. Yeah. But the thing is that the guys that are actually good that sign for vet minimums are not going to want to play anywhere else besides with LeBron and Golden State. So that for me is like when you're forming a roster and you have all your eggs in one basket with this big three, man, the rest of your roster sucks. There's no way around it. And you've seen it in the last week with Harden sitting out, with Kyrie possibly unavailable, and KD is still out with a knee injury.
And they've
And
gotten
you see
smashed.
it. They're getting waxed.
Tonight. Yeah,
They're getting waxed. Sacramento literally lost by 60, and then a couple days later, they beat Brooklyn. How is that? How do you look at yourself in the locker room and say that we're a contender in the East? You're not a contender in anything. What are you contending for? You just got waxed by a team that lost by 60. Like, Harden wasn't available, KD wasn't available. So what? Who cares? Your team is supposed to be a contender in the East. You're supposed to have fallback options. Miami has a million options. Milwaukee has a million options. Philadelphia now has not a million options, but a healthy amount of options.
A lot more than we did.
Golden State, good luck figuring out who to double because you got the best and the second best shooter on the court at the same time. So good luck figuring out who to double.
I can't wait. But listen, if anybody wants to hear more, obviously we had to start the show off with this, but we were trying to make you guys some money as well.
Trade that shocked me the most, by the way, is Kristaps Porzingis. Just kidding.
What's that?
The trade that shocked me the most was Kristaps Porzingis.
Yeah, listen, there's a ton of we could have a whole show on trades. It's just crazy what happened today. The NBA trade deadline is so exciting. It always is because there's always so much that's going on behind the scenes. So if you want to hear more about the James Harden trade, I'll be live tonight at Heat Ratio Sports for the final judgment. I'm going to have some special guests on as well around 9 o'clock, 9:15 to get some reaction. So tune in as well. But instead for tonight, I'm going to play host a little bit because, like I said to Adam, listen, I can't bullshit people, man. I had no time to research anything today. I had no time looking nothing, and I am not just going to go and pick numbers out and names and give them to you. So I'm going to play host and go right to Adam and right to Ghost to see who they got because last night, listen, was okay. It wasn't great, right? Certain things of that nature, but 1 out of 3 bets again. I wish I would have hit 2 or 3. I'd like to be 2 or 3, but it didn't happen. But Adam, right now, what game, with all this monotony going on with tonight, what's that game out of the 7-game slate that you're looking at to pounce on?
Yeah, it's really the Washington and Brooklyn Nets game because Washington, as was pretty much expected, and I wrote in the article, I figured we'd have a team that gave us some value. Washington came through in spades because with Bradley Beal done for the year, they traded Spencer Dinwiddie, Montrezl Harrell, Aaron Holiday. So they have a very, very thin rotation tonight. I mean, you saw last night, people were willing to play 5 Hornets in one lineup. You're going to see that again tonight with the Wizards, but the Wizards are like 3K. So for me, I'm looking to take 3 of the top Wizards in the model and then pair up Luka and Giannis and just take the best 2 players in the court tonight. And when you get Giannis in a good game environment, which they play the Suns in a rematch of the finals, 3-point spread, we saw what his upside is, and it's 80 DK points. You see what Luke has been doing without KP these past few games. When I can get both of them in my lineup, I'm all in.
I don't blame you, man. I don't blame you at all. I mean, 80? Dude, 80? Are you kidding
82. 82 DK for Giannis the other night.
That's yeah, dude, that's just unheard of. Has anybody, I think, didn't Joel almost hit 100?
I know Harden did, but Harden gets the 3-point bonus a lot more than Giannis does. Like that's the crazy part.
I think Embiid hit 89 or like 93 or something.
Yeah, I know it was close. It was just
really close. It was really close.
I do remember that. I definitely.
When you feel pretty comfortable at Giannis getting full run, it's an exciting night.
So, Luka, let me ask you about Luka because, Luka obviously, listen, he's the top. What's he? Yeah, he's, 12-4. Are you guys ever worried about now, Adam, with your strategy? You're absolutely right. You're talking about you get those bare minimum players for Washington, low value players, right? Kind of basically like FFVPs. But do you ever worry about that 12-4 number? Because that is a big number.
No, not really. I mean, look at the last 2 games, 28 minutes versus Atlanta, 53 DK, 33 minutes versus Detroit, 65 DK. And we all know something that Ghost has preached for 2 years now, primary ball handlers against the Los Angeles Clippers. And they don't get much more primary ball handlers than Luka Doncic. No,
you're right, man. You're absolutely right. I love watching Luka play, man. He's so smooth. And this is Giannis the night we can watch that a little bit while we talk. But yeah, so there you go. I mean, that's Adam's Square. And again, look at that model. We preach it all the time. Win Daily Sports. Follow us, windailysports.com. Make sure you get that subscription. Make sure you're in the Discord. Make sure you're on the site so you get all the good content. You can go by these numbers. You're going to look at these percentages and these cores as well. So Ghost, what did you already? All right, Ghost already has.
Yeah, my bad. Feeling a little under the weather today, so I ended up adding it a little late. But
that's all right.
For me, it's going to be Kyrie. I will have 2 Raptors in my lineup tonight against the Houston Rockets. One of them being Gary Trent Jr. And I'm going to be using at least 2 Wizards, max 3. I'm not going 4. It's the same thing that I say every time, guys. And it happened once again last night with people rostering 5 Hornets. It's mathematically impossible. Unless they're putting up 180 points in a 6 overtime game, it's impossible for them to all pay off. So for me, I don't care if they're 3K. I don't care if they're 3.5K. I'm playing 2. And at the very, very maximum, if I absolutely have to, I'll play 3. But I'm leaning 2 right now. And
I have 3 just because I can fit Giannis, Luka, and Gary Trent. So if I got to play 3 to do that, I'll play 3. But you're absolutely right, man. Like, I'll play 4 in cash because that's what the field demands. But past that, it's not really what I want to be at in GPPs. And I mean, we've talked about it. Like the Hornets, kind of stunk last night. The Spurs the other night when they got smacked around, they all flopped. Like, I understand they're 3K, man, but you can't run this many and expect good returns. So if you limit yourself to 3 and then you pick a cheaper, at least in my build, a cheaper Brooklyn net run back like a Cam Thomas, a Patty Mills, so you still get exposure to the other side of that game. Like outside of Kyrie, Patty Mills is the most owned net, and he's 7.8%. So if you're playing one of those secondary guys and you're only playing 3 Wizards, and then you're pairing Luka and Giannis together, you're already way ahead of the field as far as build goes. Well, you're way different, I should say. You're not guaranteed to be ahead, but you get my point.
I like that.
You're way different.
You're way different.
All right.
Nah,
hopefully way better than the rest.
But realistically, that's what's important, right, guys? Like on the slate like this, people are going to be rostering a minimum of 2 Wizards and up to 5 of them. We saw it last night, and the Hornets were not all 3K, and people were still rostering 5 of them. So tonight, it would not surprise me to at least see 4 to 5 Wizards per build, and that for me is just not viable. It's not a strategy that I will ever entertain, no matter what the circumstances are. So.
So Jimmy wants to play Trent and Boucher together.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah, that was confident. That was like Doug Peterson, Jacksonville conference. He was like, "Yeah, you can."
Precious is like the other start, but I like Booch again tonight. Only reason why he was somewhat limited last game was because he got 5 fouls in the first 8 minutes of his rotation.
And for the record, Precious is a great pivot away from Thomas Bryant, who's probably my least favorite Wizard.
He is.
Yeah, you're not loving that. You were going off on Thomas Bryant the other day, man. You're not liking that Thomas Bryant.
I mean, I understand they don't have a big left, but Brooklyn doesn't have to play with a big. He's not going to be necessarily forced into 35 minutes tonight, and I kind of get the expectation.
He doesn't have the cardio for that, and his knee is toast.
Right. I just don't think it's going to happen.
His knee is toast. He's not playing 35 tonight.
Yep.
Keith says you guys like Tate because Gordon's out too.
The Houston Rockets rotation makes me so nauseous.
I can't play Eric Gordon. Sorry. He just
Gordon's out, but Tate's all right. But what I mean, look, what I can't remember what Tate is off.
I don't want to play Tate because I don't want to play a wing versus Scotty Barnes or OG Anunoby. It's like one of the matchups where I refuse to go there. So if you're playing anyone tonight, it's going to be KPJ or Jalen Green for me.
Yeah, I'd rather one of the guards. I don't mind Christian Wood at 8K, but I don't find myself getting there at the center spot.
So you're gonna have Precious on Wood, Siakam on Sengun. OG is gonna be on probably Tate. Yeah. Scotty on. They'll probably put Scotty on balls. So Scotty on KPJ. Good luck. And then Gary Trent like that. That's why I like Jalen. Like I don't mind a secondary ball handler in Houston tonight because that's who Gary Trent's gonna end up guarding.
Keith says Ryu for me. He likes Ichimura.
Yeah, realistically, like like all these guys are viable. You just have to pick whichever ones you guys personally like.
Yeah.
For me, the situation to avoid is the front court.
I completely agree with that.
Like
Rui and Bryant are least favorite of mine. Guys like Denny and Neto are where I'm heading.
Yeah. For me, it's going to be the backcourt and on the wings.
Jumping on that Raul Neto wagon?
Hey, man, somebody's got to run point tonight.
Now you're right. And that's the thing, man. You gotta. We talk about this every night. We're looking at these games and looking at the values. Ghost, are you in on the Toronto wagon tonight? Are you riding that Siakam train?
I have a hard time being able to stomach 9,800. That's real steep.
A big number.
That's a real steep. And I'm playing Kyrie right now over Siakam.
I'll have my Siakam exposure in cash because he's pretty popular tonight. So I'm playing in cash. For me, it's at GPP that I use for cash, but past that and tiers would be the only Siakam I have. Because
look, let's say for example, we all start our builds with 2 to 3 wizards, right? You're okay not going 4? Is it just me that's doing that, or you're not doing that either?
I'm not going 4. I'm doing 3 max. 3 max.
Okay, so we'll say for us, we're going 2 to 3 wizards. We're not only going ones. We're gonna go minimum 2, max 3. Adam's on board. Never play 4 guys from the same team. It just doesn't work.
That's tough. That's tough.
If you end up doing that, we'll say Giannis is a lock over Luka. Are you cool with that?
I prefer Giannis over Luka if you're only playing 1.
Right. So
not by much, but that's where I would.
So let's say you end up going Giannis. Like, you're likely going to have 4 guys that everybody else is playing. So for me, it's like if you go to Siakam and that's your second stud, I don't know. It's like at that point, it's just you're way too similar to the rest of the field. You need like a 1% guy to go for 50 DK for you to win a tournament in that case.
And the thing with Siakam,
that's my issue with playing Siakam. If everyone's playing him, like at that point, you're playing the same 5 to 6 guys as everybody else.
And not only that, but Siakam, his usage and his fantasy points per minute are like completely stagnant when Van Vliet's off the court. Gary Trent Jr. sees a 7% usage bump. That's a big.
He takes over as primary ball handler, right?
Right, that's a big deal. And Trent's still 65. Like, it's still pretty affordable for the situation they're in tonight.
I don't know. I don't think I'm gonna go Siakam, guys. I'm not.
Not in GPP.
The other night, I literally shipped the mortgage on Pascal Siakam, and it really worked out. It really worked out. Like tonight, I'm not feeling it as much.
Bro, me and him were about to fight last night. I put his over on points. He had 21 at the half, and he made me wait till like 8 minutes to go in the fourth to get that last bucket.
Like I'm not feeling it as much as I was that other day. What game was that where he almost led the slate in scoring? Finished second to Donovan Mitchell.
Wasn't it Charlotte?
Was that against Charlotte where he put up 52? It was Chicago 58. I don't know. One of those games.
It was Charlotte. It
was one of those games. But yeah, I'm not feeling it as much as that other day.
Yeah. And I'm not betting his points tonight because he would have been on the dead to me list if he hadn't hit that.
Oh yeah, see that now I got Adam on a DTM, baby.
There's no Raptors. There are no Raptors on the dead to you list.
Listen, if Siakam hadn't hit his over, if he landed on 21, he would have been on dead to me for at least.
See, I'm telling you, Siakam makes his way on that DTM list. He snowflakes, man.
It's because he doesn't leave the court in the second half, so he's got to coast a bit in the third. That's why.
Yeah.
When was this? Yesterday?
Yeah, this was last night.
Yeah, what did he play yesterday? 42 minutes again? 43? Nick Nurse doesn't even know. I'm convinced he needs name tags for the rest of the
He doesn't know who else is on his team.
He needs name tags, bro. Like, these guys walk into the room, and if you're not one of Fred, Gary Trent, Scotty, OG, or Pascal, you literally need a name tag. It says, like, hello, my name is, with your jersey numbers on it. Like, Nick Nurse has no idea who you are.
He was calling Adam Silver to see if they get the game postponed tonight when FVV couldn't play. Like, I don't have enough players. I can't play.
He doesn't know who to. Yeah, he doesn't know what to do now.
We don't have the required players. Can we get this?
Yeah, the man's going to run a 7-man rotation in a game against Houston for no apparent reason.
See, here's the thing, Ghost. Like, and again, this is so I'll just give you a 4-game stretch, right, for your boy Pascal.
That's
12,
50 plus every one of them.
12, 21, 16, and 25. He got you 16 for $9,000. Like, come on, dude. Like, you
Wait,
got
when was that? When was that?
No,
12
I'm not
DK?
talking DK points. I'm just talking about.
He's just saying raw
basing
points.
this on his actual real points.
Points.
That's all I'm saying. Yeah, because
He
Adam
made us so
Antonio,
much money
he-
the other night. No, he made us so much money the other night. Can't do that.
Yeah,
Can't
but
do
it's
that.
like, come on, man, you got to do better than that.
Can't do that.
That's how you get on a dead to me list.
But
So,
I'm not feeling it as much tonight. All in all,
so let's
excited
talk
about it.
about some value tonight. Whether it be FFVP, whether it just be value in general, guys that because we talked about obviously it's the Wizards. We're all talking about the Wizards, but any other guys that may be playing more than usual tonight, maybe playing because of injury, or maybe getting caught up, maybe finally getting off the bench because of some of the trades that happened. Any guys that stick out to you in your mind that we could look at tonight?
I'll throw a name out there, and I'm not completely sold if I'm actually gonna play him yet. I gotta figure some things out. I'm trying to see where he's at. Oh my goodness, Quentin Grimes.
If you have to scroll
Quentin
that long,
Grimes.
Quentin Grimes. No RJ Barrett.
That's such a model play. Wow.
I had to pull something because look, everyone's going to play
Such a
Wizards, and I can't mount a strong argument to not play Wizards. But again, when you're looking for pivots off these guys, Grimes is 3K flat. Tibbs is very similar to Nick Nurse, where he hates everybody not named his starting rotation. He's probably not going to play quickly as much as you want. They gave up a first for Cam Reddish and just have stapled him to the bench. You kind of know what you're getting there. So GPP, you can maybe take a shot. He does rate well in the model. We mentioned Precious as a really strong pivot to Thomas Bryant or Hachimura in the front court for Toronto. So there's a couple guys you can get a little bit different with, but I'm still going to have 2 or 3 Washington Wizards in my lineup. Don't get me wrong.
Oh, look, here's your boy Ghost right there. Zach, look at that. That's right for you, Ghost. I put that up there. Look at that. Just for you, man.
Yesterday. 27. Man saved me, or else I would have gotten absolutely waxed last night with Golden State throwing up an absolute dumpster truck of a performance. So,
yeah, thanks a lot, Steph. That was really
what happened to Steph last night, man?
Here we go.
Hey,
That's your MVP, man.
I'm very consistent because I said I was going to rescind my vote for Jokic when he sucked. Steph ain't getting my vote now either.
Where are the Nuggets in the standings? Where are the Nuggets in the standings?
Where are the Nuggets in the standings? Every night I play Steph Curry, he just completely craps the bed. Every night. He hates
me. Do you know who's right behind the Denver Nuggets in the standings? The Minnesota Timberwolves. Couldn't be my MVP.
Minnesota's probably got a more talented team than Denver has right now.
I hate Anthony Edwards though. So
I would take Anthony Edwards in a
huge
heartbeat on Denver.
Huge. See, like I'm so conflicted with that team because I'm a huge D'Lo guy, but I hate Anthony Edwards.
I bet Denver will take him.
Who you got for value tonight?
I'm checking something now.
Is this a Ghost watch?
Yeah, it could be. Could be one of those. We're mixing and matching FFVP Ghost Watch. That's playing with fire.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, man. We can mix it up here. We could put them together like a combo bet. First ever.
One of these Brooklyn guys is gonna go off. I'm just trying to figure out which one.
Yeah, I really I'm playing Cam Thomas. I think in my GPP lineup.
Steve Nash
that's the thing. You want exposure. He'll play enough. He'll be all right. He's more involved in the other aspects of the game than Patty Mills is, and they're both the same price. That's kind of the deal breaker for me, at least on DK.
I have a feeling it's this greasy Bruce Brown game.
Oh, don't say that.
At 37.
Bruce Brown? You going Bruce Brown?
At 37, man. Like you need someone on the flip side of this game. Everyone's
I agree with that. 100%.
Tony, that was really smooth, by the way. That was really smooth. Wow.
What's that?
Like, I don't know. It's all like, anyways, it's all good. That was really smooth. That was really smooth.
You know what I mean? Get ready. I'm getting as smooth as I can, bro.
This feels like a greaseball Bruce Brown game, like a fort. Like it's just going to be really greasy this game.
So how much is Bruce Brown? 3,500?
37.
37? That listen, that's a good
It's
value.
right in that Wizards range. It's right in that Wizards range. Well, you took my you took my Precious play.
Well, we already
Precious
talked about
is my
that.
number one guy. Yeah, Precious is my number one guy in that range. That's not a Wizard. It's gonna be Precious. But if you're looking for like a deep to right field Nick Castellano style play, I'm thinking it's gonna be might be a Bruce Brown greasy game. I'm considering it.
BB greasy game. I like
I'm
it.
considering it. If you're not playing Kyrie, you need at least one Brooklyn net tonight. You absolutely need
100% agree.
So for me, it's like who else are you playing? You mentioned Cam Thomas. I'm cool with that. Yep. Who else are you playing? Who else can shoot the basketball on that team right now?
And that's just it. It's Patty Mills. It's Cam Thomas. I mean, I suppose you could play James Johnson, but whatever.
I can't go there. That's so gross. That's way too gross.
Yeah, I'm not taking.
We don't bet.
I may not play with
unders in this house.
No,
we don't bet
never.
unders in this house unless they're related to Evan Fournier. The only unders we bet are Evan Fournier and PJ Tucker.
Especially
the other night was absolutely laughable. The other night was laughable. PJ Tucker's over/under on points was like 9.5. That was
something silly.
That was the biggest hammer. Just hammered the under on that. It takes him at least a week.
Yo, that was funny. I think I remember Ghost. It was like last year. I was on a show with you and Jansen, and I mentioned PJ Tucker, and you cringed when I said his name.
I can't do PJ, bro. This guy just runs to the corner. He's actually the cardio god. Like he's
cardio sneakers. That's all the man knows.
It's just beyond brutal, man. It's beyond brutal. I can't stand it. I've made so much money on PJ Tucker and Evan Fournier unders. It's disgusting. Those are the only unders I bet, though. We don't bet unders.
Yeah,
life's too short to bet unders.
We don't go unders.
Life's too short to bet unders.
Yeah,
you can't be sitting there not rooting for someone to score. Imagine watching Toronto versus Houston, fast pace, and you're gonna say, "I hope Siakam doesn't score." Like, there's no fun in that.
Yeah, exactly.
Going JaVale McGee? Is this Jimmy wants to know, are we going a JaVale McGee kind of night against
I think the
Giannis?
model has like a 100% success rate when it comes to JaVale McGee. So
if he's popping the model, I'm cool with that.
Yeah, if he's popping, go for it. If he's not, don't do it. Because the model, like, it literally one day it'll have JaVale McGee number one, and the man just drops 38 DK in 15 minutes. And then it'll have him like one of the lowest values possible, and he'll throw up like 9 DK. Like it always knows when it comes to JaVale McGee. So if he's popping, go for it. If he's not, I can't get there.
So just so everybody knows, make sure you go check out WinDailySports.com. Super Bowl props. I know this is a basketball show, but we do a lot of props on the site, obviously, every single one of us. So it's a free article, tons of props on there. Make sure you check it out. As always, WinDailySports.com. And then again, props for profit. This is where we're at right now in the segment. Hashtag props for profit. Listen, every night we're hitting at least one. We had a really good, we haven't figured it out yet. We're going to unveil it on Monday, but we had a really good try at a nice same game parlay last night. But Steph just decided not to show up, man. Like, I don't know what happened there, but we're going to get into that on Monday. We're going to label it, but we're every show we're going to build some, not insane, but something that's reputable that has a little risk behind it that maybe we could start hitting. But for tonight, for props for profit, Adam, I'll go with you first. Do you have any right off the top of your head?
Yeah, so I have Giannis over 11.5 rebounds. It's minus 105. Like I said, he should pretty much get full run here. This is a matchup that he just tormented in the NBA Finals on a bad knee on top of it. Whenever we can pretty comfortably project Giannis to get 35 minutes, he's already averaging 11.3, so it's really not that much of an ask. For minus 105, it's well worth that shot.
I like that. And then you're going to the Brooklyn train, huh?
Yeah, listen, I'm probably not going to play Patty Mills in DFS because I don't love how little else he does other than shoot the ball, but it doesn't mean I can't get some money on it somewhere. And after Kyrie, it's him and Cam Thomas. He's shooting over 40% from deep, even with all the minutes this guy's playing, which God knows they didn't sign him for this many minutes, but here we are. And the Washington Wizards defense is decimated. Like, they don't have anybody left. They're playing the bench unit. I still count Brian as a bench player right now.
And then you
This
go,
is-
Gary Trent.
This is so spicy. I love it.
Yeah, I mean, listen, this is a big number. His shot's got to be on, but like I said, he does have a 7% usage bump when FVV's off the court. The Rockets are bottom 10 in 3-point frequency allowed and 3-point conversion rate. So if there's a spot for him to hit it, it's going to be this game.
You know, it's funny because I'm looking at Ghost here and I see another Gary Trent prop for profit here. So you guys are on the same page, man. Ghost, another plus money bet for Gary Trent, huh?
Yeah, this is gonna be a red pill, blue pill. You guys can take your pick. I like both of these. Gary Trent over 2.5 dimes. Look, all these guys are going to be able to handle the ball, right? And with FEV out, Gary Trent will still get his fair share, and 2.5 is just it's very similar to the Jordan Clarkson prop yesterday, where you know what, if Utah didn't wax them by 35, he would have hit that with ease, right? So like that was the thing where these guys don't pass the ball. They're not known for dishing the rock, but now he doesn't really have a choice, right? So he's going to be the one that's chucking it up to Siakam in the post, and he might get some, even if they're greasy assists, I'll take them. So over 2.5 for a guy that's going to play 40 minutes, like this is a spot for him to do it. And then this is the sneaky one, and this is the one that I'm leaning to more. It's a bigger number, so I understand if people are scared off a little bit by it, and that's why I put Gary Trent up there too. I like both of them, don't get me wrong, but this one's going to be my my preferred one. It's Scotty Barnes over 4.5 dimes. And the thing with Scotty Barnes is that when Fred VanVleet is off the court, he's actually the primary ball handler because now they're forced to start Precious. And if Siakam takes the ball up the court, it just, their offense looks real funky out there. So Siakam's going to take it up here and there. Don't get me wrong. You'll see him take up the ball on multiple possessions. But Scotty's going to be that guy that's constantly floating around the top of the key, and he's got excellent court vision, man. So, like, for me, over 4.5 dimes at plus 130, I would have expected 130 to be like in that 5.5 to 6.5 range. 4.5, I'm jumping all over it.
So
again, they're not going to leave the court. Nick Nurse doesn't know who his bench players are.
Let me ask you, Ghost, would you combine those bets and maybe throw a Toronto money line in there?
Yeah, and Gary Trent over 4.5 threes, Adam.
You know,
hey, why not?
I'm just throwing it out there.
Let me see how many threes I have Gary Trent for. I can't believe it. His prop is that high. Vegas knows something, man.
It's high. Like I said, I almost didn't put it in there, but I've learned lately the ones I don't put in are typically the ones that hit. So I just went.
Yeah, yeah. I'm so.
The ones that I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna skip that one. That one's a little dicey for me. I mean, dude, shooting 40% from deep, and like I said, if it wasn't the Rockets matchup, I'd back off. But
exactly. No, you're 100% correct. Then Ghost is going to the Giannis train over 47.5 PRA.
My buddy.
3-point spread, live TV, NBA Finals rematch.
Yep.
I
have this I don't know, like I have this like thing that's telling me that Giannis is gonna absolutely baptize DeAndre Ayton tonight.
I think so too.
I think he's gonna baptize him on that.
And it's almost like he's baptizing the old guy because Ayton looks like he's 70. So
yeah, he's the reverse, and like usually it's like and he's really young too, but he actually looks older than Paul Millsap, and that's pretty hard to do. So.
Every time I look at, and again, forgive me, I show my age here, but every time I see Ayton playing, I think of Sanford and Son. I think of Grady, right? I think of so I don't know if you guys know who that is. But I think of Grady all the time from Sanford and Son. He just that's how old DeAndre Ayton looks, and that's how old that Jigsaw just proved that he is too. So, but guys, final thoughts before we get out of here. Anything that just popped or anything, Adam, you're seeing in the model, ownership values that maybe everybody should be privy to?
No, man, I think we got it pretty situated here. Me and Ghost are on the same page for a lot of the props and everything else and who we like. So typically those tend to be good nights.
Yeah, I like it, man. As always, Props for Profit. Make sure you check out the tweet, #Props for Profit. Everybody tuning in, greatly appreciate. Did a little something new tonight. Seen some comments. People like the highlight reels. We're gonna get a little more of that as I learn what to do, what not to do. The interest video. Listen, a little long, right? But you got the grind it out a little bit, you got the little crunk going. So that's always a good thing. I'm a hip hop guy at heart, so I'll continually be rocking the hip hop. But as always, everybody, you got about 15 minutes to get your stuff in. A lot of the stuff we hit on is 7:30, 8 o'clock games anyway. So, but again, be profitable, be smart. Everybody, good luck. Stay safe, stay healthy. We'll catch you right back here tomorrow night.